Hello and welcome to The Issue. I'm Justin Chenette. In this episode, we're going to continue our commitment to non-stop 2008 election coverage by discussing the major political headlines from the past week. The Issue Election Center begins now. Ralph Nader enters the presidential race again. Nader made the announcement on NBC's Meet the Press. This will be Nader's third bid for the Oval Office as a third-party candidate. His decision to enter the race has been heavily detested by most Democrats, who still consider Nader to have been a spoiler in the 2000 presidential election. Critics say his candidacy in 2000 cost Al Gore the presidency to George W. Bush by siphoning off vote in the incredibly close race in Florida. Commenting on the accusations, Nader stated, quote, "This bit about spoiler is really very astonishing. These are two parties who've spoiled our electoral system. They can't even count the votes. Republicans steal the votes, and the Democrats knock out third-party candidates off the ballot. So let's get over it and try to have a diverse, multi-choice, multi-party democracy." Nader gained 2.7% of the vote in that election as the Green Party candidate and a mere 0.3% as the independent in the 2004 race. In recent polls and primaries, Senator Barack Obama and Senator John McCain have favored well among independent voters. Could Nader's presidential intentions tip the balance for either party nominee, or is there enough support to be a contender? The elections held on March 4th were known as Super Tuesday 2 or Junior Super Tuesday. After sweeping the states of Ohio, Texas, and Rhode Island, Senator John McCain has surpassed the magic number of 1,191 delegates to capture the Republican nomination. As you might recall, last summer, McCain was written off the political radar screen due to low numbers and a failing campaign. What a difference 8 months can make. McCain's only real threat to the nomination threw in the towel for the betterment of the party. Governor Mike Huckabee made the surprise announcement to drop out of the race as soon as the final tallies came in. He also congratulated and endorsed Senator McCain as a Republican nominee. This is coming from a politician who continued to press on, even when the math didn't add up in terms of the delegate count. On the Democratic side, Senator Hillary Clinton was able to bring Barack Obama's 12-state winning streak to a halt. Clinton pulled out big wins in the Buckeye state of Ohio, Rhode Island, and the Texas primary, while Senator Barack Obama managed a double-digit lead over Clinton in the Vermont primary and overtook Clinton in the Texas caucus. Even with these wins for Senator Clinton, the difference of delegates between the two Democratic candidates remains relatively the same. Barack Obama has 1,520 to Hillary Clinton's 1,424 delegates, including the superdelegates. There are primaries, debates, and the party convention still ahead, meaning this election is far from over. Every vote, voice, delegate, and in this case, superdelegate, counts. The day after Junior Super Tuesday came a large but expected endorsement of President Bush for Senator McCain. It is interesting to note the ties these two politicians have. Bush and McCain were political rivals in the 2000 primary, and yet 8 years later, they're coming together to elect the other who didn't make it. The question will become, will Bush help or hurt McCain in the general election? Only time will tell. In this highly contested and historic presidential election, the youth vote and voice is making a difference. We have seen primary after primary where young voters are casting their ballots in record numbers. While the nation continues to hold primaries and caucuses to determine the Democratic and Republican nominees, it seemed only fair to let TA students in on the action. Carpe Diem, in association with the newly formed Quill and Scroll Honor Society, sponsored TA's first ever presidential primary. The event was known as the Super Friday Primary, with the slogan, "Most of the country, including Maine, has voted for a presidential candidate. Now it's your turn." Over 180 ballots were cast during all 4 lunch waves, and the results are as follows. On the Democratic primary, the winner is Barack Obama with 76% of the vote. Hillary Clinton came in second with 21% of the vote, and uncommitted represents 3%. On the Republican primary, the winner is Senator John McCain with 67% of the vote. Huckabee came in third with 14%. Uncommitted actually came in second with 19%. Let's turn to the TATV, and according to the exit polling data, the question becomes, if you were to register to vote, what party would you affiliate yourself with? 45% said Democrat, 24% said Republican, 13% said Independent, and 3% said Green Party. The next question, do you think that the 2008 election will affect you? 71%, an overwhelmingly sweep of yes, and maybe came in second with 10%, the nays 2%. Now, the number one issue among students here at Thornton Academy, the economy, came in first. In second, education, and a tie for third, the environment and civil human rights. The next question, how important is the 2008 election to you and your future? 35% said very important, 22% said important, 8% said semi-important, and 1% said not important at all. The next question and the final question, when you turn 18, will you register to vote? Or, if you are 18, have you registered to vote? 59% said yes, 5% said no, and 3% undecided. Thank you to all who voted in the Super Friday primary. Keep in mind that Maine will be holding its state primary on June 10th, and the general election will be held on November 4th. Remember to register to vote if you've not done so already, and vote in both elections. This is a vital time in our nation's history to truly enact change. What makes this presidential election so historic? It's the first time in 80 years that an incumbent president or vice president is not running on the ballot. Also, this is really the first time a serious female candidate and a serious African-American candidate are on the same ballot. Keep in mind that there are two other very important races also underway in the state of Maine. The U.S. Senate race and the U.S. Representative race are wide open races and are getting very heated. Keep it tuned to TATV for all of the primary candidate interviews. I'm Justin Chenette. This has been the Issue Election Center. See you next time.